Have you ever felt?
Weight loss, fitness, bodybuilding, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, these are complex concepts in and of themselves that require vast knowledge in anatomy, nutrition, supplementation, training itself. And people are having problems achieving their goals at these commercial gyms because the knowledge is not there. You don't acquire this knowledge with a half-day seminar and become a certified personal trainer. You don't acquire any knowledge by being someone outside of competitive lifting and just having money and purchasing equipment and opening up a gym. You don't know what you're doing. So this is where all these problems arise. Now, these people that say they're having problems completing a workout, they run out of energy, is because they're not eating enough calories, and they're taught to eat as little calories as possible, and that's dead wrong. And also, they're not eating the right foods. Okay, now this type of eating has been around since it was introduced to me in the early 90s, and what people can't get through their heads is that if they increase the calories with the right foods, they are not going to gain fat. Now let's talk about that, and please hear me through. Now when you are on a diet and you're ingesting 1,000 calories a day, you're actually slowing your metabolism down. You're setting yourself up to gain fat. So that is totally wrong. Now this eating plan, which should be every day of your life, it's not just a diet, is called the multi-carbohydrate leverage loading diet, and I've talked about that in a previous video. I've actually outlined, examples of foods for each meal, and I'm not going to do that. I just want you to understand the concept. That way it'll be more clear, I think, to you. So, each meal consists of a lean protein, 2 starchy carbohydrates, and 2 fibrous carbohydrates. Okay, so you get the 4 carbohydrates and a lean protein. Okay, now the reason for that is that this combination slows down the digestion of carbohydrates, and it slows the release of glucose into the bloodstream, so you have a consistent level energy release throughout the day. Now you need to eat these meals 5 to 6 times a day, about 2 hours between meals. And what this does is it causes the release of insulin, and it maintains a steady release of insulin throughout the day. Why is this important? Insulin is a hormone that is anabolic in its effects. In other words, it actually causes growth. Now, one of the main roles of insulin is to provide amino acids to the muscles for growth and repair. Now, if you're eating like a normal human being, that insulin release after you eat a meal only lasts about 3 hours. So, see, if you're eating 5 to 6 meals a day every 2 or 3 hours, you sustain your insulin release, and you're feeding those muscles the amino acids that they need to repair themselves and for further growth. Now people get excited and they say, well, I don't want growth, I don't want to get bigger, I'm trying to lose weight. Well, now wait a minute. When you eat that many meals, evenly spaced out throughout the day, you cause your metabolism to rise to actually process that food. So you're increasing what we call thermogenesis, and you're starting to burn the simple carbs and fat and you're building lean muscle, which burns fat for fuel. So you're becoming leaner yet more muscular. For you ladies out there, the only thing I can tell you to look at is, say, a fitness model. Now, I'm sure all you ladies want to look like that, and I'm not talking about a female bodybuilder that's drug enhanced by any means, but a fitness contestant. Okay, that's the kind of look that you want, and that's what this diet will provide you with if you follow it religiously. I do want to give you some examples of what a starchy carbohydrate is, what a fibrous carbohydrate is, what types of protein I'm talking about using in this diet, without giving you an exact diet with every food outlined for every meal. And I think people tend to want to be given that, handed that, so they don't have to think about it and figure it out. But I want you to learn to think about what you're doing, why you're doing it, what it is that you need, so that you can outline your own diets. You want to vary these meals, okay? You don't want to eat the same thing every day because it's something I handed you. You want to be able to work on these diets and make meals on your own. Be creative, okay? But I do want to give you some ideas of what I'm talking about as far as these foods. Now, the proteins would be like a very, very lean beef, white poultry, not dark meat, because that contains a lot of fat, fish, or eggs. Okay, it's very simple. Now, it gets more complex when we talk about the carbohydrates. Now, we have what we call, I'm going to read off a list here. We have what we call our fibrous carbohydrates, and they include salads, like vegetables, green beans, cauliflower, broccoli, things like that. Whereas the starchy carbohydrates, I think most people are familiar with potatoes. They would think of those as starchy. Rice, yams, again, are potatoes. Legumes. What are legumes? Legumes are like peas. Peanuts a legume. Certain beans are legumes. Other things would be whole grain cereals. These are what we call the starchy carbohydrates. Now, you need of the starchy and the fibrous, you need 2 of each for each meal, and then 1 lean protein. Again, I want you to be creative and not stick to a boring meal plan. Now, I want you to set your diet up for a specific number of calories. It's going to vary between individual. A small woman versus a very large man, it can go from 2,000 to 10,000 calories a day. So, what I would do, if you're an average sized woman, an average sized man, the woman's trying to lose weight, lose fat, the man's trying to gain some muscle, lean muscle tissue, not get huge. He's not taking growth hormone or anything, but let's be reasonable about this. Let's just try and start out with 4,000 calories a day and see if we can divide those meals up, set those meals up, those 5 to 6 meals, so that we come out with a total of 4,000 calories a day and see how that works. Now, you're going to have to adjust things and see if they increase results. If you're not getting any results, you're going to have to increase those calories. Okay, I don't want to just hand you this on a platter. I want you to figure out how to do this on your own. Otherwise, I'm going to be in the business of writing dietary plans for individuals, on a daily basis, and I'm not in that business right now. I'm just I have my YouTube channel. I don't have my own website. I'm not selling anything. I'm just dispensing proper information. So please think about this and give it a try. Now, I said I wanted you guys to be able to figure this out on your own, but just from past experience, I'm afraid I'm not going to get my point across unless I put several of these meals up on the screen here. So at the end of the video, I'm going to post 4 different meals as examples of the multi-carbohydrate leverage loading diet. Thanks for watching.